have been doing a lot of things, but you feel like I'm not getting success. I'm not able to achieve the things that I want to achieve and I'm capable of achieving. Okay. So if you have been feeling like this, that whatever you are doing, it's not enough, then watch this video till the end, because I'm going to share certain practical insights and facts that why people fail to achieve certain things and how you can actually achieve those. Alright, so this video is not about certain tricks and hacks or something and certain motivational stuffs that is going to give you crores of rupees or something like that, but understand certain facts. So let me begin by asking you a simple question, okay? Ask yourself, till date in your academic education, the school, college, everything that you have done, how much you have invested in terms of time, energy, and money, and what is the ROI that you have received in terms of anything that you can measure the worth of, okay? If you feel that you have not received the decent ROI for whatever you have invested, typically the time, you're never going to get back the time. The energy, money, still you can get back, but not the time. So understand this, that all these years, whatever we have learned through the academic education system, a tiny portion of it, a little percentage of it, we actually use in our practical life. Then what are those things that actually is needed for us to really reach the success that we are looking for? And by the way, success for everyone is different. It is your definition of success. So I'm taking it in a generalized form over here. So if you look at few years back, right, the 80s, the 90s people, I'm a product of that. So we invested a lot in terms of getting the right kind of degree, right kind of job and everything. And in the recent few years, you have seen the shift in the drastic market changes that is happening. And if you look at it, the biggest fear in people is job loss, which is a fact, because with the advent of automation and so many things that are happening, what is happening is people's competencies are not matching up to the market changes. So what that means is, number one, if you think that the skills and the things that you have learned for the last few years, I mean maybe a decade back, or the things that you have learned only in schools and colleges based on your degrees would be relevant in today's time to secure your job or whatever earning source you have, that is a myth. Because with your experience, you can see that as the market changes, you need to acquire new competencies and you need to upgrade your skill sets as well. And the more you do it, the more you realize what kind of potential you have, because you can explore different industries, you can explore different markets. Okay. And when it comes to why people are not achieving the kind of success that they are looking for and why they are not achieving whatever they are wanting, one of the biggest factor is managing your thoughts and emotions. Yes, it is not something, you watch some motivational videos on YouTube and you feel good for a few hours and then you are back to square one. It's actually the fact that since the childhood, for so many years, right, your childhood, your teenage, your later years, etc., we have been conditioned in a manner that we just need to focus on one particular stream of degrees or marks, and that is going to secure our life, secure our future. Well, as you already know, that's a myth. And that is completely impractical. So number two is you need to change your approach into seeing things. So I'll come back to this approach point. So number two, you can actually specifically note it down, handling and managing your thoughts and emotions. The way you can manage your thoughts and emotions, whether it's in your personal life or professional life, is actually going to determine the quality of your life. Because when your thoughts and emotions are in a particular stable manner, you are able to think better and you are able to make decisions better from a neutral standpoint when and wherever it is needed. Majority of the people are committing suicide, going haywire and, feeling all these kind of depression. In fact, you see, there are so many cases that has happened where people have taken their lives due to
various reasons which boils down to the basic aspects of life, because they were not able to deal with these things. If you really look at it, don't you think these all could have actually been handled in a better manner if these people would have had the right kind of knowledge, awareness, and the accessibility to certain aspects?
And going into a chaos mode is because they are not able to manage their thoughts and emotions, and which is leading them to a state from where they are not able to make decisions. So the decision making factor is getting affected. So imagine if you're eating something, you are making a decision that you are hungry and you want to eat this particular item. You're marrying someone, you're making a decision. You're buying something from online, you're making a decision. Every second of your day, you are making a decision, whether consciously or unconsciously. Now, the problem is, majority of these decisions you are making unconsciously. And that's why the schools and college systems have never, when I say the systems, I'm talking about the traditional academic systems, not the traditional, the typical academic system that has been there for since the British era and which has not changed yet. Their intention has been to create herds, the herd mentality, who will be pushed into the job. They will not ask questions, and we can get things done from them. The Britishers have gone, everything has changed, but yet this particular education system has not changed. So definitely it is directly impacting the kind of thoughts, emotions that people are experiencing, which is affecting the decision making factor and ultimately affecting your life. And that's why you see whatever you are experiencing is directly related to it. Okay. So the next point is coming to the aspect of finance and wealth. Now, again, in the academic education system, it is never taught to us how to actually earn or manage your finances and how to build wealth. The most practical aspect of, survival or living in a society. Okay. So when it comes to finance and wealth, even a kid should learn that, because sooner or later you will realize, even though if you are in a job, okay, job or business, it is nothing good or bad. It's your choice what you want to do. So even if you have one stream of income through your job, sooner or later you will realize, I want to have multiple streams of income. Whether it is through business, whether it is through investing, does not matter, but you will realize that. And for that, the knowledge of the right kind of finances and wealth is very important, which is, again, has never been taught to any of us through this system of education. Now, the next aspect is, because of all these factors, what happened is people have never been made aware of or have never been educated about handling relationships. Why? Because when you live in a society, when you're interacting even with a stranger, and of course, the people in your society, the neighbors, your family members, the shop owners, etc., whatever it is, you are actually building relationships on different levels, and it has never been taught of how to build relationships and how to maintain them, which is another very sensitive aspect of any society. So you see, there are so many aspects as to why people do not achieve the things they want to achieve. People do not achieve the success that they want to achieve because there are so many foundational, practical and compulsory aspects of our lives that has never been taught in the typical academic educational system. And just like I mentioned, those are your emotional intelligence, managing your thoughts and emotions, your decision-making factors, things about finances and wealth, about relationships, and another most important aspect is the sex education. Now, why this is so important? As you have also noticed what is happening in the society right now. When you try to suppress or make a very natural phenomena into something which is not taught openly and in a very mature manner, people learn it negatively in very negative forms, and that backfires in the society as a whole. So when this can be introduced in the education system right from the student life, You have no idea how mature and what kind of perspective can bring about in that person. Okay. So all these things, when you see it, I would invite you to look at it from a different approach. So all these things, the finance, the emotional intelligence, the every aspects of handling your relationships with people and everything, the next thing that you need to consciously remind yourself is seeing and understanding things from a different approach. Not jumping into conclusions without the right facts, not having bottom line opinion of just black and white because there are so many gray areas that you don't even know, not discarding things that you don't know, that does not make sense to you. Okay, because these kind of conditioning, okay, has been conditioned and screwed within us right from the childhood, again from that colonial educational system that we have been a part of. I mean, majority of the entire country has been a part of. Now, think about it. The moment you shift your perspective from this, what kind of a life you are going to have? What kind of an openness, creativity, and approach of decision-making aspects you are going to have, whether it's your personal life, your profession, or your business. Now, many people, you will think, oh my God, I don't have time to learn all these things right now. I will only send my children to do that because they need it. Of course they need it. Okay, because we need to know for our future generations. Now, the big question to you is, this is where majority of the parents of today's age leave a big gap area. So what is happening is, you, out of love and of course out of the best intention for your kids, you think that, okay, let my kids learn all these things and I'll continue doing this because I don't have time, I have to pay the bills, etc., which is fine, understandable. Now think about it. The kids learn all these different approach aspects, okay, which is very different than your conditioning and thought process. Now the kid is coming back to the same environment and the energy space that you have, and the kid feels completely lost as to why are these people thinking like this. Okay, now you have no idea why the kid is behaving like this, because you have sent the kid with the right intention to learn all the new aspects, or the right aspects, I would say. Okay, maybe to a gurukul or a different kind of school system which focuses more on the life and the real aspects of life rather than the not so useful academic education system. So understand this, when they come back, they are coming back to the same environment with the same kind of conditioning and thought process. So for them to come back and have a thriving atmosphere, you need to grow with them. You need to change with them. If that is not happening, whatever you are trying to do for the kid is not going to work out 100%. Okay, or even to the extent that you think is possible. So bottom line, whatever age you are right now, it does not matter, because learning, growing, educating does not have any age defined number, right? So this video is more towards inviting you to have a better life, to have a better finance system, to have a better business, profession, and happiness in your life through a different approach. So if you have been part of this typical academic education whose ROI has been very less for you of what you are experiencing right now in your life in different aspects, then I would request you to see it from a different approach. Start understanding how to manage your thoughts and emotions, your emotional intelligence. Understand how to manage relationships. Learn about finance and wealth. Okay, learn about environment factor, because you are breathing the oxygen that environment is giving you, right? So of course the sustainability will come into picture, like it or not. And of course, for you and the kids in your family, the sex education. So there are tons of things that can also be added to the list, but these are some of the basic factors that you can begin with. Think about it. When you start growing, the people around you in your family starts growing, the society as a whole, the country and the world as a whole. But let's say you are not worried about all those things. You are just worried about yourself. So think about yourself. Imagine if you become a completely new version of yourself with this kind of approach, what is going to change in your life and how much of the success you are going to achieve, and what are the things you can do and achieve till now which you have been struggling to do. Okay, a little change in your thought process, a little understanding, a little openness can do wonders for your life. If you have any question, drop it in the comment section or just simply drop me an email, and I will see you soon in the next video. Namaskaram.